The lights flickered again on the bridge of the gentle tide, and Captain Velmora felt her 3 hearts sink lower in her chest. The merchant vessel had been drifting for 2 days now, life support slowly failing, and still no rescue ships appeared on their sensors. How much longer? She asked, though she already knew the answer would not be good. Thix, the engineer, clicked his mandibles together nervously. His insect-like body trembled as he checked the readings again. Maybe 3 days. 4 if we reduce power to the sleeping quarters. The reactor leak is getting worse. Velmora looked around her bridge. The crew of 12 Valerians stared back at her with wide, frightened eyes. They were herbivores, peaceful traders who had never expected danger on this routine supply run. The reactor malfunction had come without warning, and now they were stranded in the outer rim where few ships traveled. "Captain?" Priel spoke up from the navigation station. The navigator's tentacles moved across the controls with practiced ease. "I have been scanning all frequencies. There is one signal I found. It is close. Very close. How close?" Velmora asked, hope rising in her chest. 6 light hours away. They could be here in days if they have standard drives. Then send them our distress call immediately. Priel's skin changed color, turning a sickly gray. "Captain, I must tell you something first. The signal comes from a quarantined system. The planet is classified as a level 9 death world." The bridge went silent. Every member of the crew knew what that meant. Death worlds were places where life evolved under impossible conditions. High gravity, dangerous radiation, extreme temperatures, and ecosystems filled with predators. The creatures that evolved on such worlds were nightmares. The Galactic Council had strict rules about contacting them. "What species?" Velmora asked quietly. Priel pulled up the database entry and they all read it together. The words made Velmora's blood run cold. "Planet. Earth. Classification. Level 9. Death world. Gravity 1.0 G standard. Atmosphere. High oxygen content, nitrogen base with trace toxic gases. Radiation. Extreme solar exposure. Ecosystem. Millions of predator species documented. Dominant species, human. Status, quarantine recommended. Intelligence level, technological. Civilization rating, dangerously unstable. Warning. Inhabitants show extreme aggression, territorial behavior, and unpredictable emotional responses. Avoid all contact unless absolutely necessary." Thix made a scared chittering sound. "Captain, we cannot call them. Look at the warnings. They are predators. They come from a world of death. We are dying anyway," Velmora said softly. She looked at each member of her crew. "In 3 days, maybe 4, we will all be dead. The humans might kill us, yes, but staying here means certain death. At least this way we have a chance." "They will eat us," Thix whispered. "Maybe," Velmora admitted, "or maybe they will help us. The database says they have technology. They have ships. They can travel in space. That means they have some level of civilization, even if it is dangerous." Priel's tentacles stopped moving. "Captain, there is more information here. The humans have been intercepting galactic communications for over 200 years. They broke our encryption codes. If we send a standard distress call, they will understand it." "Then we send it," Velmora decided. "Prepare the message. Use standard galactic distress protocols. Include our position, our situation, and a request for rescue assistance." "Should we mention that we can pay?" another crew member asked. "Yes. Include that we have valuable cargo and can offer compensation for rescue. Maybe that will motivate them." Thix worked on the message with shaking hands. Within minutes it was ready. The distress call was simple and direct. Merchant vessel disabled. Life support failing, 12 crew members. Requesting immediate assistance will provide compensation. "Send it," Velmora ordered. Priel pressed the control, and the message beamed out into space toward the quarantine system. Then they waited. Hours passed. The crew tried to rest, but fear kept most of them awake. They had just called for help from a species that every civilized race avoided. What had they done? The answer came faster than anyone expected. Only 4 hours after they sent the distress call, their communication system activated. A voice came through, speaking perfect galactic common. The voice was deep and smooth, and somehow that made it even more frightening. "Merchant vessel Gentle Tide. This is Captain Minho of the human survey ship Resilience. We received your distress call and are changing course to assist you. Our estimated arrival time is 4 hours. Please confirm you can hold life support until then. We are bringing medical and engineering support. Stay calm. Help is coming." The message ended, and the Valerian crew stared at each other in shock. 4 hours? Tix whispered. That is impossible. No ship can travel 6 light hours and 8 hours total. That would require speeds that would tear any known vessel apart. They are Deathworlders, Priel said quietly. Their ships probably match their world, built for conditions that would kill us. Velamora felt a new kind of fear settling over her. The humans were coming, and they were coming fast. Maybe too fast. What kind of creatures could survive the speeds necessary to reach them so quickly? She opened a communication channel.
Human vessel resilience, this is Captain Velamora.
We confirm receipt of your message. Life support will hold for 4 hours. We thank you for responding. She hesitated, then added, Please be informed that we are a peaceful trading vessel. We are not armed. We mean no threat to you. The human's voice came back, and Velamora thought she heard amusement in it. Captain Velamora, we understand.
We mean you no harm either.
We are a mineral survey crew, not a military vessel. Just hold tight and we will have you safe soon. Resilience out, a survey crew. Not even their warriors. Just ordinary humans coming to rescue them. Somehow that thought did not make Velamora feel any better. She looked at her crew. Get ready. In 4 hours we will meet Deathworlders face to face. Stay calm, be polite. Do not make any aggressive moves. If we are lucky, they really do want to help us. And if we are not lucky? Thix asked. Velamora did not answer. She simply watched the sensor display, where a new contact had appeared, moving toward them at speeds that should not be possible. The human ship was coming. In the outer rim of space, where few ships traveled and fewer still survived, the gentle tide waited for its fate to arrive at impossible speeds from a world of death and monsters. The human ship appeared on their sensors exactly 4 hours later, and the sight of it made the Valerian crew gasp in fear. The Resilience was not large by galactic standards, but it was built like nothing they had ever seen. Where most ships had smooth, rounded designs to minimize stress, the human vessel had hard angles and thick plating. It looked less like a survey ship and more like a weapon. They are hailing us, Prill announced, tentacles shaking. Audio and visual. Put it on screen, Velamora ordered, trying to keep her voice steady. The view screen activated, and for the first time, the Valerian crew saw a human face. Captain Minho looked like a nightmare-given form. His eyes faced forward like a predator, designed to track prey. His skin was smooth but tough-looking, stretched over powerful muscles. When he smiled, trying to look friendly, it revealed flat white teeth that spoke of an omnivorous diet. The Valerians knew what that meant. These creatures ate meat, Captain Velamora, Minho said warmly. Good to see you are still with us. We are going to dock with your vessel and bring repair equipment aboard. My engineer says she can fix your reactor leak. Our medic will check your crew for radiation exposure. Just sit tight. Velamora tried to speak but found her voice had stopped working. Behind her, 2 crew members had fainted. Thix was making a high-pitched whining sound of terror. On the screen, Minho's smile faded. His eyes showed concern. Are you okay? You look scared. I promise we are here to help. We are not going to hurt you. Your teeth, Velamora managed to whisper. Minho looked confused for a moment, then understanding crossed his features. He closed his mouth carefully. Right, sorry. I keep forgetting that bothersome species. I will keep my mouth closed. My pilot Yuna is bringing us alongside now. She's very good at docking procedures. The communication shifted to show another human. Yuna was younger than Minho, with quick eyes and fast hands that moved across her controls with frightening speed. She glanced at the camera and gave a small wave. Hi, getting you lined up now. Your ship is damaged, so this might feel a little bumpy. Do not worry. The Valerian crew watched their sensors as the human ship approached. Yuna was not just good at docking. She was performing maneuvers that should have been impossible. The Resilience moved with precision that defied physics, sliding into position alongside the gentle tide without even causing a vibration. Docking complete, Yuna announced cheerfully. See, smooth as glass. That was incredible, Priel whispered. How did she do that? Through the view screen, they heard Minho chuckle. Yuna is the best pilot in our fleet. Now my team is coming through the airlock. Please do not be alarmed by our pressure suits. They might look scary, but they are just for safety. The airlock door opened and 3 humans entered the gentle tide. They were enormous. Even though the database had said humans evolved under 1.0 G gravity, seeing them in person was different. They moved with a casual power that terrified the Valerians. Each step was controlled but strong. Each movement was efficient but spoke of incredible physical strength. The first human through the door was carrying a large bag marked with a red cross. This was Jinwoo, the medic. He wore what he called a light pressure suit, but to the Valerians it looked like battle armor. His helmet was clear, showing his face, and he was smiling again, trying to look friendly. "Hello, everyone," Jinwoo said softly. "I am here to help. Can someone tell me if anyone is injured or feeling sick from the radiation?" 3 Valerians immediately stepped backward. One tripped and fell. Jinwoo moved forward to help, and his speed made everyone gasp. In less than a second, he had crossed the room and was kneeling beside the fallen Valerian. "Careful. You might have hurt yourself in the fall. Let me check." His hands moved gently over the Valerian's body, checking for injuries, but even his gentle touch was firm enough to make the alien whimper. Behind him, another human had entered. This was Hana, the engineer. She was smaller than the others, but moved with the same controlled power. She carried a toolkit that looked far too heavy for someone her size, but she handled it like it weighed nothing. "Where is your reactor room?" Hana asked. Her voice was quiet and calm. Vix pointed with a shaking mandible. "Down that corridor. But the radiation levels are deadly. You cannot go in there without heavy shielding." Hana looked at her suit and shrugged. "This should be fine for a few hours. I will get started." "A few hours?" Vix's voice went up several octaves. "The radiation will kill you in minutes." Hana paused and looked at the engineer with something like confusion. "Oh, right. Different biology." "Do not worry. Humans are pretty resistant to radiation. It is not good for us long term. But short exposure is not a big problem. I will be fine." She walked toward the reactor room, and Thix followed her, too shocked to do anything else. On the bridge, Jinwoo was still checking the Valerian crew for injuries. He worked with careful precision, his scanner moving over each alien with practiced ease. "You all have minor radiation exposure," he announced. "Nothing life-threatening, but I am going to give you medicine to help your bodies process it. This might taste bad, but it will help." He pulled out small bottles of liquid from his bag. The Valerians stared at them nervously. "It is safe," Jinwoo assured them. "We tested it on 3 different species before coming here. The Galactic Medical Database is very helpful." "You have access to the Galactic Database?" Velmora asked in shock. Jinwoo nodded. "Of course. How else would we know how to help different species? We have been studying it for years. Now please drink this." He handed a bottle to Velmora. She took it with shaking hands and sipped carefully. The taste was strong and bitter, but not poisonous. Slowly, the other crew members accepted their medicine. Through the ship's communication system, they could hear Hana working in the reactor room. She was humming something, a human song, completely unconcerned about the deadly radiation surrounding her. Captain Minho's voice came through the communication channel. "Status report?" "Medical check complete," Jinwoo responded. "Everyone will be fine. Minor radiation exposure, treating now." "Reactor repair in progress," Hana's voice added. "Should have it fixed in about 90 minutes. The leak was not too bad. Someone just needs to replace these containment seals regularly. They are old." "Excellent work, team," Minho said. "Captain Velmora, we will have your ship running soon. After repairs, we will escort you to the nearest station. We do not want you breaking down again out here." Velmora found her voice finally. "Why are you helping us? The database says your species is dangerous, aggressive. Why come to rescue us?" There was a pause. Then Minho's voice came back, and he sounded genuinely confused by the question. "Because you needed help." "Why else would we come?" The simple honesty in his voice shocked Velmora more than anything else had. These creatures, these predators from a death world, had traveled at impossible speeds through dangerous space to rescue aliens they had never met, and they seemed to think this was just normal behavior. Jinwoo finished checking the last crew member and stood up. "Everyone looks good. You should all rest now. The medicine will make you a little sleepy, but that is normal. When you wake up, your ship will be fixed and we will get you home safe." He smiled again, careful to keep his teeth covered, and patted Velmora gently on the shoulder. Even that gentle pat was strong enough to make her stagger slightly. "Try not to worry," Jinwoo said kindly. "You are safe now. We have got you." And somehow, despite everything, Velmora believed him. Thix stood outside the reactor room, watching through the radiation-proof glass as Hana worked inside. The human engineer had been in there for over an hour now, surrounded by levels of radiation that would have killed any Valerian in minutes. She worked calmly, her hands moving with precision as she replaced the damaged containment seals. Occasionally, she would stop to wipe sweat from her forehead, or take a drink from a water tube in her suit. She showed no signs of pain or sickness. She just worked. How is she doing that? Thix whispered to himself. Doing what? A voice asked behind him. Thix jumped and spun around to find Jinwoo standing there holding a tray of food. The radiation. It should be killing her. Jinwoo looked through the glass at his colleague and shrugged. Hana is tough. Earth has natural radiation in many places. Our bodies adapted to handle it better than most species. She will be fine. She does this kind of work all the time. All the time? Thix could not believe what he was hearing. Sure. Last month, she spent 3 hours inside a damaged reactor on a mining station. Before that, she fixed a solar collector that was giving off heavy radiation. It is just part of the job. Jinwoo held out the tray. I brought food. Your crew needs to eat to recover from the medicine. This is human food, but we made it mild. No spices. We checked the galactic database to make sure it is safe for Valerians. Thix looked at the tray nervously. The food was dense, much more compact than Valerian meals. Each portion looked like it contained enough calories for an entire day. This is too much food. Oh right, sorry, this is actually a small meal by human standards. Just eat what you can. Your bodies need the energy to heal. Thix took a small piece and tasted it carefully. It was bland but edible, safe. He relaxed slightly. Thank you, no problem. I am going to bring more to the others. Oh, and Captain Minho wanted to talk to your captain. Something about navigation. On the bridge, Velamora was looking at the navigation charts with growing confusion. Captain Minho's face was on the view screen, explaining their route back to the nearest galactic station. We will take the direct route through the Kessler field, Minho was saying, pointing at the map. Should cut our travel time in half. The Kessler field? Velamora's voice went up in pitch. That is an asteroid field. No ship can safely navigate through that. The collision risk is too high. Minho looked puzzled. Really? Our sensors show plenty of clear paths. Yuna has flown through much denser fields before. This one actually looks pretty easy. Easy? Prill spoke up from the navigation station. Captain, the Kessler field is classified as extremely hazardous. Ships are required to go around it, not through it. Huh. Interesting. Minho looked at something off-screen, probably talking to Yuna. After a moment, he looked back. Yuna says it will be fine. She has excellent reflexes. But if it makes you more comfortable, we can take the long route. It will just add 2 more days to the journey. Velmora thought about spending 2 more days in the Outer Rim versus trusting a human pilot to navigate through an asteroid field. Both options seemed terrifying, but at least the asteroid field would be faster. The field route is acceptable, she said quietly. Great. We will plot the course. Minho smiled again, remembering to keep his teeth covered. By the way, your crew seemed interested in Earth earlier. Would you like to know more about our planet? It might help you feel less nervous about us. Velmora was not sure that was true, but she nodded anyway. Minho pulled up images of Earth on her screen. The planet was beautiful, covered in blue oceans and green land. But as he began to explain, Velmora's fear only grew. This is Earth, Minho said proudly. We have about 8 billion humans living there now. The gravity is 1.0 G standard, which is pretty comfortable for us. The atmosphere is about 20% oxygen, 78% nitrogen with some other gases mixed in. We get good sunlight from our star, though it does produce a lot of ultraviolet radiation. That is why many humans have dark skin. It protects us from the radiation. 8 billion, Velmora repeated weakly. That is more than most entire galactic civilizations. Is it? I guess we do breed pretty fast. Earth has lots of space and resources, so our population grew naturally. He showed more images. Here are some of our cities. This is Seoul, where I am from. Beautiful place. Great food. The images showed massive structures housing millions of humans. The architecture was solid and heavy, built to withstand the high gravity of their homeworld. And these are some of Earth's animals, Minho continued, showing new images. This is a dog. Many humans keep them as companions. They are descendants of wolves, which were predators, but we domesticated them thousands of years ago. Now they are our friends. The image showed a creature with sharp teeth and forward-facing eyes, a predator, and humans kept them in their homes. As pets, this is a cat, also a predator, also domesticated, very popular pets. This is a horse. We used to ride them for transportation. This is a cow. We raise them for food and milk. Each image showed another creature that would be considered dangerous on most worlds, and humans lived alongside them. Some they ate. Some they befriended. Some they rode. Most of Earth's megafauna went extinct thousands of years ago, Minho explained. Humans hunted many of them. It is one of our great regrets. Now we try to protect the remaining species. We have learned to be better caretakers of our world. You hunted your planet's megafauna to extinction? Philomora felt faint, not all of them. Some survived, and not on purpose. Our ancestors did not understand ecology very well. We know better now. Minho looked sad for a moment. We made many mistakes when we were younger as a species. We are trying to do better. At that moment, Hana's voice came over the communication system. Reactor repair complete. Firing it up now. Everyone should feel power returning in 3, 2, 1 now. The lights on the gentle tide brightened. The air circulation system hummed back to life. Temperature controls activated. The ship was alive again. Hana emerged from the reactor room, her suit showing scorch marks and radiation warnings. She removed her helmet and took a deep breath. Her hair was damp with sweat and her face was flushed, but she was smiling. All fixed. The reactor should run smoothly for at least another 20 years if you maintain those seals properly. I left instructions for your engineer. She looked at Thix, who was staring at her in shock. You okay? You look pale. More pale than before, I mean. You were in there for 90 minutes, Thix managed to say. Yeah, it took longer than I expected. The seals were really degraded. Had to fabricate some new parts. But it is done now. She stretched, her joints popping audibly. Man, I am hungry.
Jinwoo, did you save me any food?
Of course. Come eat. The two humans walked toward the galley, chatting casually about the repair work as if Hana had not just spent an hour and a half in lethal radiation. Velmora watched them go and turned back to Captain Minho on the view screen. Your engineer just survived radiation exposure that should have killed her. She acts like it was just another day at work. Minho nodded. For Hana, it was just another day at work. She is very good at her job. All of my crew is. That is why we were chosen for survey missions. We can handle harsh environments. And you are not the military, Velmora said quietly. You are just scientists, explorers, and that is right. The military has much better equipment and training. We just look at rocks and minerals mostly. Sometimes we help rescue stranded ships. It is nice to do something good while we are out here. Velmora looked at her own crew. The Valerians were eating the human food carefully, recovering from their ordeal. The humans had arrived at impossible speed, repaired their ship in hours, and treated them with kindness despite being terrifying predators from a death world. Thank you, Velmora said softly. Thank you for saving us. You are welcome, Minho replied warmly. Now get some rest. Tomorrow we start the journey to the station. Yuna is excited to show off her flying skills through the asteroid field. That statement did not make Velmora feel better, but she nodded anyway. The humans had saved them. The least she could do was trust them to get them home safely, even if home meant flying through an asteroid field with a species that thought deadly radiation was just part of the job. The journey was going smoothly until the third day. Velmora was starting to relax, even though watching Yuna navigate through the Kessler field had been the most terrifying experience of her life. The human pilot moved the ships through the asteroids like they were standing still, dodging rocks the size of small moons with casual ease. See? Easy, Yuna had said cheerfully after they emerged on the other side. Velmora had not been able to respond. She had been too busy trying not to faint. Now they were approaching the trade lanes where galactic station signals were stronger. Soon they would be safe. The nightmare would be over. Then the pirates appeared. Captain, Prill shouted from the navigation station. Multiple contacts. 6 ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. They are surrounding us! On the view screen, a large scarred face appeared. This was Warlord Zeth of the Krix Syndicate, one of the most feared pirate organizations in the Outer Rim. His species was tall and thin, adapted for low-gravity worlds with long arms and sharp claws. Attention vessels, Zeth growled. You are now property of the Krix Syndicate. Prepare to be boarded. Surrender your cargo and nobody gets hurt. Resist and we will space you all. Velmora felt her heart sink. Pirates. After everything they had survived, they were going to be robbed by pirates. Or worse. Captain, what do we do? Thix asked, his voice shaking. We surrender, Velmora said quietly. We have no weapons. We cannot fight them. They will take our cargo and hopefully let us go. She opened a channel to the Resilience. Captain Minho, I am sorry. We must surrender to the pirates. They have 6 ships. We are not equipped to fight. There was a pause. Then Minho's voice came back and he sounded tired rather than afraid. Pirates, great, I really hate pirates. Another pause. Captain Velmora, please secure your crew. Tell everyone to hold on to something solid. Things are about to get rough. What?
No, we must surrender.
They will kill us if we resist. They are going to rob you either way, Minho said calmly. At least this way you keep your cargo. Yuna, please remove the external threats. Use non-lethal methods if possible. Got it, boss. Yuna sounded excited rather than scared. Hang on, everyone. What happened next took less than 30 seconds. The Resilience moved, not the smooth, controlled movements Velmora had seen before. This was different. This was violence. The human ship accelerated so fast that the space around it seemed to bend. Yuna was not just flying anymore. She was weaponizing physics. The Resilience cut across the bow of the nearest pirate ship, pulling forces that should have torn the vessel apart. Inside, Velmora knew the humans were experiencing multiple Gs of acceleration. On their homeworld, this was normal. Out here, it was devastating. The pirate ship tried to follow but could not match the turn. Its crew, adapted for low gravity, were being crushed by forces their bodies could not handle. Yuna executed a barrel roll that brought the Resilience behind another pirate vessel. She matched its course perfectly, then hit the brakes. The sudden deceleration was so extreme that it would have killed any non-human crew. The pirate ship shot forward, unable to compensate. 2 down, Yuna announced cheerfully. They are not dead, just unconscious from the acceleration. 4 more to go. Warlord Zeth's face appeared on the screen again. But now he looked scared. What are you? What species are you? We are humans, Captain Minho replied calmly. And we are having a really bad week. You picked the wrong ships to rob. The Resilience spun in a way that defied what should have been possible. Yuna was flying like the ship was an extension of her body, moving with precision that seemed almost supernatural. Every maneuver was designed to disable rather than destroy, but the effect was the same. The third pirate ship tried to run. Yuna caught it in less than 10 seconds, matching its course and forcing it into a spin that left its crew unconscious from the rotational forces. The fourth ship tried to shoot. Its weapons fire missed completely. The Resilience was moving too fast, too unpredictably. Yuna returned fire with what Minho called disabling shots. The pirate ship went dark, its power systems fried by precise targeting. 2 ships remaining, Minho announced. Warlord Zeth, you can surrender now or we can continue this. Your choice, you cannot board us, Zeth shouted. We have 50 armed raiders on this ship. You are only 4 humans. 4 is plenty, Minho said, and now his voice had lost all friendliness. Last chance, surrender. Zeth cut the communication and opened fire with everything he had. Yuna dodged every shot. Then the Resilience moved alongside the pirate flagship, and docking clamps engaged with enough force to shake both ships. Jinwoo, Hana, you are with me, Minho said. Yuna, keep the last ship busy. Captain Velmora, you might want to watch this on your internal sensors. Consider it a lesson in human biology. Velmora switched her sensors to watch the pirate flagship's interior. What she saw would give her nightmares for years. 3 humans entered the ship through the docking port. They moved through the corridors like hunting predators, fast and efficient. The pirates opened fire with everything they had. The humans moved faster. Jinwoo, the gentle medic who had treated her crew with such care, disarmed 4 raiders in less than 3 seconds. His movements were precise strikes to nerve clusters and pressure points. The pirates dropped without being seriously injured, but they were completely unconscious. Hana, the quiet engineer, moved through a group of 6 raiders like they were standing still. She used their own momentum against them, throwing them into walls and floors with controlled force. Not enough to kill, but enough to disable. And Captain Minho walked through the ship like death itself. He did not even run. He just moved forward with calm efficiency, and every pirate who tried to stop him ended up on the floor. The 3 humans cleared the entire ship in 4 minutes. 50 armed raiders defeated by 3 unarmed humans who were trying not to hurt anyone too badly. On the bridge of the pirate flagship, Warlord Zeth stood alone, holding a plasma rifle. His hands were shaking as Minho walked onto the bridge. Stay back, Zeth shouted. I will shoot. You will miss, Minho said calmly. They all missed. You are scared. Your hands are shaking. You cannot aim properly. Put the weapon down before you hurt yourself. What are you? Zeth whispered. What kind of monsters are you? Minho stopped walking. For a moment, his face showed something like sadness. We are not monsters. We are from Earth. We evolved on a world where everything was trying to kill us. We got strong because we had to. We got smart because that was the only way to survive. We learned to work together because alone we would have died. He took another step forward. Zeth pulled the trigger. The shot went wide. Minho moved forward and took the rifle from Zeth's hands like taking a toy from a child. We learned to be kind, Minho continued, because kindness was the only thing that separated us from the beasts. But when someone threatens innocent people, when someone preys on the weak, we remember what we are. We remember what our ancestors had to be to survive. Zeth collapsed to his knees, nursing broken ribs from where one of his own crew had fallen on him during the fight. Please, please do not kill me. We are not going to kill you, Minho said, and his voice was gentle again. We are going to take you to the nearest Galactic Authority station. They will deal with you properly. We do not believe in murder. We believe in justice. He turned and looked directly at the sensor camera, knowing Velmora was watching. Captain Velmora, the threat is eliminated. All pirates are alive but disabled. We will tow their ships to the station with us. They will face trial for their crimes. Velmora could not speak. She had just watched 3 humans defeat 50 armed pirates in minutes, using only their bare hands and refusing to kill anyone. Minho continued, We will be ready to resume course in 1 hour. Please have your crew rest. I apologize for the rough acceleration. I know it was frightening. The communication ended. Thix looked at Velmora with wide eyes. Captain, what have we done? What kind of species did we call for help? Velmora thought about the question. She thought about humans racing through space at impossible speeds to save strangers. She thought about Hana working in lethal radiation without complaint. She thought about Jinwoo's gentle hands treating her crew. She thought about Minho walking through a ship full of armed pirates and choosing mercy over violence. We called the most dangerous species in the galaxy, Velmora said quietly, and somehow they are also the kindest. That combination terrifies me more than anything else. Outside the viewport, the Resilient sat peacefully between the 2 merchant vessels and 6 disabled pirate ships. Inside that small survey vessel were 4 humans who had just changed everything. The Valerian crew thought they knew about the universe, and according to Minho, these were not even warriors. These were just scientists, just ordinary humans doing their job. Velmora wondered what the actual human military was like and then decided she did not want to know. 1 week later, Captain Velmora stood in the grand chamber of the Galactic Council station. Around her sat representatives from hundreds of species, all waiting to hear her testimony. The chamber was filled with the quiet sound of translators working, converting her words into countless languages. The High Counselor, an ancient being from a species so old they had witnessed the formation of the council itself, looked down at her with concern. Captain Velmora, you filed an emergency contact report regarding interaction with a quarantined species. This is a serious matter. Please tell us exactly what happened. Velmora took a deep breath and began her story. She told them about the reactor failure, about drifting in the outer rim with no hope of rescue. She told them about the desperate decision to send a distress call to the quarantine system called Earth. They responded within 4 hours, she said, and heard gasps around the chamber. Their ship traveled 6 light hours in 8 hours total. When I questioned their captain about this, he said it was standard emergency response speed. The High Counselor leaned forward. They have ships that can travel at such speeds? Yes, Counselor, but that is not the most important part. Velmora pulled up the report data on the central display. Their ship was crewed by 4 individuals. They called themselves a mineral survey team. Not military, not special forces, just scientists exploring space. She showed them the images of the Resilience. Engineers in the chamber studied the design with growing alarm. The ship was built to standards far beyond normal galactic vessels. One of their crew, an engineer named Hana, repaired our reactor leak in 90 minutes. She worked inside the reactor core with radiation levels that should have killed her in minutes. When she emerged, her only complaint was that she was hungry. Impossible, someone said from the chamber. I have the radiation readings, Velmora replied. I watched her work. She was not in a heavy shielded suit. She wore what they called light protective equipment. After 90 minutes in lethal radiation, she had dinner with us and showed no signs of sickness. She brought up the next set of data. Their pilot, Yuna, navigated both our ships through the Kessler field, the same asteroid field that is marked as extreme hazard in all galactic navigation charts. She did it without slowing down. She considered it easy. More murmurs filled the chamber. The Kessler field was avoided by all species. The idea of flying through it was madness. But the most important event, Velmora continued, happened 3 days into our journey home. She showed them the sensor data from the pirate attack. The council watched in silence as the recording showed the Resilience moving with impossible speed and precision, disabling 6 pirate vessels in less than a minute. Warlord Zeth's flagship had 50 armed raiders aboard, Velmora said quietly. 3 humans boarded the ship. They neutralized all 50 pirates in 4 minutes. They used no weapons. They used their hands. And they did it while trying not to kill anyone. The chamber erupted in noise. Representatives shouted questions. Some expressed disbelief. Others looked terrified. The High Counselor raised a hand for silence. You are certain of these numbers? 3 humans defeated 50 armed opponents? I watched it happen on internal sensors, Counselor. I have provided all sensor data in my report. The humans moved faster than should be possible. They struck with precision that speaks of extensive combat training. And yet when it was over, not one pirate was dead. All were unconscious or disabled but alive. Why? The High Counselor asked. Why show such mercy to pirates? I asked Captain Minho the same question, Velmora replied. He said, and I quote, "We do not believe in murder. We believe in justice." The humans insisted on bringing all the pirates to this station to face proper trial. They could have killed them easily. They chose not to. She paused, letting her words sink in. Counselor, we have always understood the warnings about Deathworld species. We know they are dangerous. What we did not understand is that they can choose to be kind. The humans are the most physically powerful species I have ever encountered. They can survive environments that would kill most of us. They can move at speeds our bodies cannot handle. They can fight with an efficiency that seems impossible. Velmora looked around the chamber at all the gathered species. And yet they chose to save us. They traveled through dangerous space at emergency speed to rescue strangers. They repaired our ship. They protected us from pirates. They asked for no payment. They wanted no reward. When I asked Captain Minho why they came to help us, he seemed confused by the question. He said, "Because you needed help. Why else would we come?" The chamber was silent now. Every representative was listening carefully. We were warned that humans are dangerously unstable, Velmora continued. This is true. They are emotional beings who act on feeling as much as logic. But their instinct is to help. Their first response to a distress call is to respond, even if it means traveling through dangerous space at speeds that risk their lives. She pulled up the image of Earth on the main display. The beautiful blue and green planet hung in space, looking peaceful and welcoming. It was hard to believe such a deadly world could produce beings of such kindness. The humans have been monitoring galactic communications for over 200 years, Velmora said. They broke our encryption codes within their first decade of space travel. They have been watching us, learning about us, preparing to meet us, and when they finally revealed themselves, it was not to conquer or threaten. It was to answer a distress call. The High Counselor studied the image of Earth for a long moment. What is your recommendation, Captain? Counselor, I believe the quarantine should be lifted. Not because the humans are not dangerous. They are the most dangerous species we will ever encounter. But because their danger is directed at protecting the innocent and stopping those who prey on the weak. In 1 week with them, I felt safer than I have ever felt in galactic space. She paused, choosing her next words carefully. Sending an SOS to Deathworlders is a terrible idea. It is against all our protocols and safety guidelines. It should never have worked. But it did. The humans saved us. And now I cannot shake the thought that if we ever face a true threat, something that endangers all of us, we would want the humans on our side. The chamber erupted in debate again. Some representatives agreed. Others protested. The argument went on for hours. Finally, the High Counselor made a decision. The quarantine will remain in place, but a diplomatic mission will be sent to Earth. We will meet with the humans officially. We will discuss their potential integration into the galactic community. Captain Velmora, you will lead this mission. Velmora bowed. Yes, Counselor. 3 weeks later, Velmora stood in the airlock of a galactic diplomatic vessel, preparing to dock with an Earth space station. She was nervous. She had requested that Captain Minho and his crew be present for the first official meeting. The airlock opened, and there they were. Minho, Yuna, Jinwoo, and Hana all smiling warmly. They wore formal uniforms now instead of pressure suits, but they were the same humans who had saved her. Captain Velmora, Minho said warmly, careful to keep his teeth covered. It is good to see you again. Welcome to Earth space. Thank you, Captain Minho, Velmora replied. I must apologize. When we first met, we were terrified of you. We know, Minho said gently. It is okay. We understand. We look scary to most species. We are working on that. You should not change, Velmora said firmly. You are what you are. You come from a world that made you strong, but somehow that same world also taught you to be kind. That combination is rare, perhaps unique in the galaxy. Yuna grinned. We are just doing our best, trying to be good neighbors. You are more than that, Velmora said. You are hope. When I sent that distress call, I thought I was calling monsters. Instead, I found friends. That is what I will tell my people. That is what I will tell the entire galaxy. Jinwoo stepped forward and offered his hand in the human gesture of greeting. Then let us make it official. Welcome to the neighborhood, Captain. We are glad to have you here. Velmora carefully took his hand, no longer afraid of his strength. And we are glad to know you. Even if you did give us all nightmares with your flying, Yuna laughed. Sorry about that. But admit it, we got through the asteroid field really fast. As the group walked toward the diplomatic meeting rooms discussing trade and cultural exchange, Velmora felt something she had not expected to feel. She felt safe. Behind them, Earth hung in space, that beautiful, deadly world that had given birth to the galaxy's most powerful and most compassionate species. The planet was no longer quarantined. It was now simply home to humanity, the Deathworlders who answered distress calls. And across the galaxy, as word spread of what had happened, other species began to reconsider their fears. Perhaps the warnings had been incomplete. Perhaps Deathworlders were not just dangerous. Perhaps they were exactly what the galaxy needed. Somewhere in deep space, the Resilience continued its mineral survey mission. Minho had filed his incident report as routine. Successful rescue operation. Minor delays due to pirate encounter. Request commendations for crew performance. He had no idea that he and his crew had just changed the course of galactic history.